On today's episode of the Comics Panel, we're going to be talking about Keystone issues. All right, we're back here. More Keystone issues. This is a topic that's come up, and there's just so many stuff to cover about it because everybody has different collections. And Andy, I know you're dying to talk about one, and I'm excited about it. So, what is your one issue that you're interested in?
Keystone or Cornerstone issue to us is something that really stands out in the comic book world. It doesn't have to be new. It doesn't have to be old. It just has to be something that was really done well. What I'm going to talk about right now is Future Quest, even though it's brand new. This just came out, and I was really looking forward to this because I'm a huge Johnny Quest fan. That's my poster back there.
Well, how do you not like Johnny Quest?
Yeah,
like, how do you not?
Really. But
It's not
it's
just Johnny
just
Quest.
a great stuff.
It's not
It
just
does Hanna-Barbera, which also has Frankenstein Jr. He's on the back. Junior.
Herculoids.
And the Herculoids, they were fantastic. And Space Ghost. It's got everybody in it.
And the Birdman.
Birdman, too. I was a little apprehensive when I saw this in the previews. I thought, this is going to be cool. And then the more I thought about it, I thought, well, maybe it's not going to be cool. Don't get too excited. Well, it's really cool. The art looks really nice. It really looks like Johnny Quest, Hanna-Barbera type of thing. It really
cool
has
stuff
that
back in
nice
the day,
animation look to it. The colors are almost like a 4-color book, which is really cool to me. And it covers all the bases. Dr. Zinn's in it as the villain. Fear shows up. We've got the robot spy. And we even get to see a little bit of Space Ghost's origin, which I had never known. And it's really cool.
On sale now.
On sale now. It has multiple covers. There's like the Herculoids cover, the Johnny Quest cover. There's the blank cover, the coloring book color.
I got the Herculoids cover. I want the wraparound.
Yeah, the wraparound's pretty cool because it shows everybody.
It's going to be an amazing issue because it fills in so many holes from your childhood.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And Saturday morning was just great when I was a kid. In the 70s, it was just cartoon time. And Johnny Quest and all the Hanna-Barbera stuff was
I wish
just perfect.
kids today could experience what we had growing up.
Oh,
Their
I
life
agree.
would be so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't make cartoons like that anymore.
Or just, the fact that it's hours set aside just for kids. I mean, when I was a kid, you had to watch what your parents wanted you to watch or whatever they were watching.
All Saturday morning.
Saturday
6
morning
to 12.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
get up real early. Oh yeah, you get up before back then the TV didn't run 24 hours a day. It went off at 2 o'clock, and you had to wait until 6 o'clock for it to come back on.
ABC had their own cartoons,
and
NBC
the Lone Ranger,
and CBS.
And you had to watch all those things, and your parents would be, "Go back to bed. TV's not on yet." But this really brought back a lot of that stuff, and I thought this was really cool, and I'm very much looking forward to the rest of the series.
Definitely pick it up and read it.
Check
and
it
if you're
out.
young,
Check it out.
this will bring your inner child back out again.
Oh yeah,
and you'll find out what you've missed all those
and
years.
if the only exposure to Space Ghost and Birdman was Adult Swim, Space Ghost
that was
Coast to
horrible.
Coast, which was Space Ghost Coast to Coast was fantastic.
It's cool.
That was amazing, and Harvey Birdman, an attorney at law, was hilarious.
I couldn't get into it. I like the original Space Ghost.
The original was beautiful.
Yeah.
But, Brack with his own
It was different,
band. Yeah, like you can't hate on that.
Yeah, if that was your only exposure to it, that stuff's cool, but the originals is better.
Or the Johnny Depp from the 90s where everything was all digitized. Do you remember that? Did you see Johnny Quest when it was when it was rebooted?
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
It's pretty good, but it didn't have the same flair the original Johnny Quest
did those, the images on the thing that was always really stood out to me for Johnny Quest was it looked like panels from a comic book come to life.
Yes.
It had the same kind of inking, the same kind of illustration going on. It reminds me a lot of Archer, if you watch Archer today.
Yep.
It has that same kind of look and feel to it.
Full-color filmation, if you want to call it that.
So that, I was really impressed this had that same feel to it, because they've rebooted Johnny Quest several times in the comic books throughout the years. And it was never really that great as far as I'm concerned. But this was really cool. This, as far, really hit the mark.
Nice.
What about you?
2 issues come to mind, and they are both completely off-the-wall issues, but the first one that really popped into my head, it was an old X Factor, I want to say it was like X Factor 47 or X Factor 49.
Okay.
It's an issue where the entire team is in therapy.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember reading that. They had a really, really horribly traumatic mission they managed to barely survive doing. In fact, Polaris had her jaw wired shut.
Okay.
And it was government mandated they had to see a therapist. Now, you don't realize until later it's actually Doc Samson who's the therapist, but he does a very...
now I remember.
He does a ridiculously legitimate job of sitting everyone down and going, "Are you okay?" And
how does that make you feel?
There was a lot of that. And actually, one of the most brilliant parts to that issue, and it's a single issue, he sits down with Quicksilver.
Okay.
Yeah, and Quicksilver says why he's always pissed off.
Yes, because he's like, "You see what my powers are like." And he's like, when you're going through your day and you're stuck behind the person at the ATM who doesn't know how to use it, how does that make you feel? When you are stuck in traffic
they just seem so slow.
and people aren't going when the light is green, how does that make you feel? Now imagine living like that every second of every day of your life, and that is what it's like to be me. And then all of a sudden it's like,
okay, now we
like,
know why you're a jerk.
Now you get it. Now you know why he's like that. And there's
Very
a
interesting.
whole lot.
Yeah,
I mean, Wolfsbane, has a moment. Multiple Man has his moment. Polaris has a bunch of moments. She apparently had a little bit of a body image issue, and she was actually celebrating the fact that her jaw got wired shut. And even though Doc Samson was being like the very neutral therapist type, she would take things that he would say that had nothing to do with anything and go, "Well, you think I'm fat still, don't you? Well, I'm trying to work out, but did it?" And he's like, "I didn't say any of that." So at the very end, she shows up in like her new Polaris outfit, where it's just basically a red and gold metallic X just covering the bits, like the Polaris equivalent of the Sue Storm kind of. And she's like, "Well, how do you think I am now? I finally got my job." And he's like, "I think you look stunning." And she's like, "That's what I thought," and tosses her hair and marches out the door. And he's like, "I don't even know what happened." It's a fantastic issue because it gets you into their heads, and it's
a different look. And
it's
like
a
you said,
different
it's
look
cool
at
'cause
them.
it's one issue, you know what I mean, and it deals with all the characters, but it's just one issue.
I think I have that
So-
book at home. I've got to dig that out.
It's
if I have
it's
it
a
and
very
reread it.
good read. I've reread it so many times. Like the creases are unsalvageable. It's a fantastic issue.
So what was your other book?
Oh,
you
my
said?
other one was actually, it was a Hitman issue, Hitman Resurrection Man crossover.
Okay.
It was hysterical. It was a lot of dark humor in that one. Do you know who Resurrection Man is? Okay.
I don't. Could you explain
Essentially,
who that guy is?
Resurrection Man he dies, and when he comes back, he gets a new power, but he doesn't know what's going to happen when he comes back.
So you can die multiple times and get
Yes.
different computer. All right.
Yeah, there's
Interesting.
no 9 lives. There's no limit.
It's like Nitro.
So-
He just keep blowing himself up, and he comes back, and comes
Yeah.
back, and comes back.
So essentially what happens is they are pinned down by somewhere. It's like an inescapable something or other. And Hitman looks at him as like, "We need something useful."
Go kill someone.
Yeah, he literally sits there and goes, "Bam!" Dies,
what can you
comes
do?
back, and at one point he goes, "Bam!" Resurrection Man dies, comes back, and he can conjure iridescent butterflies. And he's like, "Oh, pretty." And he's like, "Next!" Bam!
So it just keeps killing until he gets
He just
what he
keeps
needs.
killing him until he gets
Interesting.
something useful. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That's interesting.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
it was pretty good. How about you?
You can have fun with that one.
Yeah.
One of my issues would be it's X-Men of the series that Jim Lee started, Volume 2. It'd be either I think
X-Men
it's
Gold.
yeah either issue 28 or 29. Sabretooth is on the cover and he's fighting Jean Grey.
Yes.
And basically Jean Grey, I don't think she has her Phoenix powers so much.
No,
It's just
she's
that
just Jean
she's that,
Grey.
Yeah.
and she just puts him in his place And it was a one-story shot. It was before the wedding, and basically you're not going to ruin my wedding type of thing. And it was a good issue, and Sabretooth found new respect for her, which I thought was neat what they did with the character, because they made her more than just Phoenix or Jean Grey.
Yeah, like she was still a very like a hardcore like maternal type, but you're right. She looked at him and was like, "I am tired of your crap." And I think something had happened to put him in the X Mansion, and was like, "We gotta calm this guy down."
They didn't want him in
and
there.
she was the house like scion.
Well, did he escape or something or whatever? Or
No, like
he
because
did
she
something?
went down, but
He was
he was
there.
going nuts,
Yeah.
and he kept trying to get out. And they're like, "We have to do something, and if we can't kill him, somebody's going to need to do something." And since she was the only one who had the telepathic powers to be able to go in, she's like, "Guess it's going to be me."
Yep, she didn't take no crap.
Nope.
Now, in your previous episode, when you guys were talking about Sue Storm, Civil War, the Fantastic Four spin-off of that,
Yeah.
she basically didn't take Reed's crap. She said absolutely not.
Yeah.
And it just reiterates what you guys were saying about being such a strong character. I didn't think about that, of all the possibilities you guys brought it up. So I thought, interesting choice on that. So even the Fantastic Four Civil War crossover, you can throw those 5 issues into it, was an interesting read in itself.
Yeah.
And where's Grogan at? I thought Grogan, I was going to ask him for his opinion, but
Well,
I guess
he's-
that's it.
He's gone. Oh, yeah, I guess that's about it for that. All right, well, thanks a lot. And I guess subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Leave your comments below.
And like us on Facebook.
Thanks.